Last session of my class. My class, you'll be having one more class after this. Today is the last day for your means for again in the again for online classes. It will be the last day. So what you can do is if it is possible, if it is possible for you, uh, you can also attend the offline classes which will commence from Wednesday. So from 19th to 26th probably, the classes will be held from 10:30 to 4 as usual. So offline classes will be held in Mysore. So if you are interested and if you are free and if you can come, you can always attend the offline classes also. And we'll try to cover the syllabus which we have not taught here in the online mode. We'll try to cover that syllabus there offline in the offline mode. So, coming to the again the text which I was dealing with in the last session. I was telling you about. I was speaking about the Allman by T.S. Eliot. I gave you a brief introduction about the poem and the background of the poem. It is also called as a personal poem. Okay, this what the element is also called as the personal poem, and here in this poem, poet presents his views on contemporary life, contemporary life. At the same time, he criticizes modern civilization, which is the pride of several nations. Several nations is shown as again modern civilization is shown in the negative perspective and also lacking all the values of life. A modern civilization which several nations consider as what? Consider as the pride, consider as its pride has been projected or portrayed as what lacking all the values of life. The poem is an inner inner dream with the utmost economy of the words, and at the same time there is little mythical variety in it. At the same time, it is monotonous. It is monotone, a chant without what variation. There is again the entire poem is a chant without any variation. It appears like a monotone, and the poet's divine faith on divine's grace can be quite frequently seen throughout the poem. So it appears quite clearly that Eliot is trying to be religious and he's trying to present the concerns, religious concerns or issues, particularly Christianity. And the title itself, as I told you, in that poem is given the title "The Wasteland." There, the wasteland refers to the modern world. Who are the Olomen? It is the native inhabitants of the wasteland. We, the people of the modern world, are the Olomen. So, the title of this poem, he has borrowed it from William Morris poem, the Hollow Land. William Morris poem, The Hollow Land, and Rudyard Kipling's book called The Broken Men. So he borrows the title from William Morris, The Hollow Land, and Rudyard Kipling's The Broken Men. So he picks it from those two titles and forms his own title here, called The Hollow Men, which was published in the year 1925. He begins the poem with an epigraph, where you can see, he uses the name. He uses two references from one reference is from Joseph Conrad's novel called Art of Darkness. Another reference is from British history. He borrows another reference from British history, which is very popular, and that particular incident, which happened in the year, 1605. That particular incident, which happened in the year 1605 on 5th of November. 5th of November. So on that day, a man called Guy Fawkes, Guyfawkes, Guy Fawkes is popular in the history of England because he tried to demolish, or he tried to bomb the British Parliament. He tried to bomb the British Parliament on 5th of November 1605. And he also uses Mr. Kurtz, the name of Mr. Kurtz. Mr. Kurtz is dead. Mr. Kurtz, he dead. And in the second line, a penny for the old guy. So who is the old guy that Eliot is called? Fawkes, 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 again, which is again on 5th of November every year in England. That particular day is celebrated as celebrated because they get children in England on November 5th of every year. They celebrate this Guy Fawkes Day. On that day, they burn the effigy. Filled with the straws, dry straws. The effigy of Guy Fawkes is burnt with the firecrackers. And children go from one place to another place, from one home to another home, collecting money to buy firecrackers to burn the effigy. Effigy andre ಪ್ರತಿಕೃತಿ ಅಂತಿರಲ್ಲ, ಪ್ರತಿಕೃತಿ ದಹನ ಮಾಡೋದು. So effigy of Guy Fawkes is burnt on 5th of November every year in England. Children collect money. So a penny for the old guy. Children collect money to buy firecrackers to burn the effigy of Guy Fawkes. And another name, that is, Mr. Kurtz. Mr. Kurtz is a popular character. He is the real hero of the novel called Art of Darkness, written by Joseph Conrad. So Kurtz is popular for his wickedness. Kurtz is known or popular for wickedness, for his cruel nature. As I told you in the last class, Kurtz is sent on a mission to Congo to change the lifestyle of people. On a mission he goes there, but ultimately what he does, he steals, he robs the ivory from the elephants of Congo, and they kill. Again, Kurtz and his men, they kill the blacks. That's another interesting factor. Again, Kurtz, an European slave trader, is also a slave trader. He used to send black slaves from Africa to Europe. So we had gone to Congo. Africa is a character who lacks human spirit, who lacks human soul, who lacks sympathy or empathy for other human beings, for fellow human beings. So intentionally, Eliot picks these two characters as the perfect example for the epigraph. So what is he trying to convey through these characters? So Eliot feels people in the modern wasteland, that is we, the modern wasteland people who are living in the modern world, the hollow men, you and me, are listlessly spending our time without doing anything, without giving anything to the prosperity of humanity, prosperity or the progress of humanity, the achievement of you and me. We have not given, it's null and void. We have not given anything to the progress of humanity. So our contribution to the progress or the development of humanity, upholding the values, is null and void. So he feels that modern beings, modern human beings, modern people in the modern world are listlessly spending. They are aimless. They are aimless. They don't know what exactly to do. They are just spending their time. They are just passing their time waiting for death to arrive. So that is the reason why he uses those two examples. He feels that at least if you can't do something good, if you can't do something good to the society, again, in order to show your presence, in order to display your presence, you have to do something evil. You have to do something evil. At least you have to leave a mark after your death. So we learn the history of Hitler. We also learn the history of Mahatma Gandhi. So what do we learn from Hitler? We learn Hitler was so violent. He was a wanted criminal after Second World War. After Second World War, Hitler was responsible for the killing of 5 crore people and also mass destruction. He was responsible for Second World War. We learn about Hitler, who is what? Who represents evil, who represents mass killing. Hitler is known as murderer. Murderer. So we read the history of Hitler. So what does it signify? So Eliot feels that even if you can't do good, do something bad and leave a mark that you have lived, you have existed. In that way, that is the reason why he uses the name of Mr. Kurtz. Mr. Kurtz. If you don't do something good or evil, you will be, Mr. Kurtz. Mr. Kurtz, again, Mr. Kurtz, it's a pidgin English. It's pidgin English. It's actually Mr. Kurtz. So it's pidgin English or Creole English. Creole or pidgin English. Again, English which is used by French people. Creole. Creole is almost mixture of French and English. It's almost like French. Okay, Mister. It's Mister. It's not Mister. It's Mister. It's pidgin or Creole English or Creole pidgin English or Creole language. That is the reason. Normally used by the speaker from non-native English, non-native Britishman people are from other parts of Europe. People who do not belong to England use such English as Mr. Kurtz and Guy Fawkes. So Fawkes. So again, as I told you, the statement is also answer to question, where is Mr. Kurtz? The poem begins with an epigraph or a written statement after the death of Kurtz, connecting the novel character here for being hollow. He does not have moral. He does not have what? Moral compass to guide him. He does not have moral compass to guide him to or the instincts of a decent human being. So Kurtz lacks what? Moral compass to guide him. At the same time, he lacks the instincts, the human instincts, or instincts to call him as a decent human being, because he had when he was in Congo, again he was completely transformed. Before leaving to Congo, he was a different man. But when he reaches Congo, where again the atmosphere is again African wilderness, the nature, atmosphere, the ignorant, innocent, dark, savage people of Africa, again tempts him to lose his human values, lose his instincts. By the time he comes out of the forest, comes out of the Congo, and starts again sailing back to home, he is dead on the ship. He dies on the ship and tells the last words uttered by Kurtz in the novel Art of Darkness is horror, horror, horror. So those lines signify what? Those lines signify the kind of life, life led by Kurtz during his stay or halt in the country called Congo. He chases wild elephants and kills them mercilessly for the sake of sports, for the sake of ivory, okay, for the sake of ivory, profit, money. So he is totally inhuman by the time he meets with death. Very, very important aspect. That is the reason why, again, that is the reason why Eliot brings or uses the name of Mr. Kurtz at the very beginning of this poem. So he is the right example for because Mr. Kurtz represents the entire Europe. He represents what? The entire modern world because he is the hollow man. He is the hollow man. He represents the hollow men. He is the hollow man because he lacks those human instincts. He lacks those human instincts. So, what are the motives? Motifs, motives that you see in the poem. The damaged psyche of humanity. That is the important motif. The damaged psyche of humanity. At the same time, Eliot, like other modern writers, wanted to express the fragile psychological state of humanity in 20th century. The fragile psychological state of humanity. So he wanted to present that. So the damaged psyche of humanity. So you should not forget the contribution of Carl Jung, Sigmund Freud, to the field of psychology, having an impact on literature. Having an impact on literature. So many literarians started to navigate what? Human psyche. Navigate human psyche. That is what Joseph Conrad does. He tries to navigate human psyche, again in the form of Kurtz. Kurtz represents the modern man. Okay, and the art of darkness, the dark, hidden traits of human nature has to be explored through the skill called stream of consciousness technique. Deeply into the human psyche, you try to learn the human psyche. So, novel, and it's a popular character which influences Eliot here. Eliot feels that the modern man again is completely fragile psychologically. The psychological state of humanity, fragile psychological state of humanity is again in 20th century is very well presented in this poem. At the same time, the passing of Victorian ideals and the trauma of World War. The passing of Victorian ideals, which I spoke of, okay, in the book Culture and Anarchy. Culture and Anarchy, Matthew Arnold raises some questions on the collapse of culture. So here again, Eliot might have influenced by such books. So that is the reason why he wanted to present the world as it is. So Eliot saw society as paralyzed and wounded, and he imagined that the culture was crumbling and dissolving. The culture in the society is crumbling and dissolving. Eliot maintained great reverence for myth and the Western literary canon. And the Western literary canon, he packed his work full of allusions, quotations, footnotes, and scholarly exercises. The wasteland juxtaposes fragments of various elements of literary and mythic traditions with scenes, sounds from modern life. The effect of this poetic collage is both reinterpretation of canonical texts and a historical context for his examination of society and humanity, of society and humanity. So, as I told you, the first line where he says, Mr. Kurtz is dead, and the second line, a penny for the old guy. So, a penny for the old guy, where children beg for money, penny, small amount of money to buy fireworks to burn the effigy of Guy Fawkes, a notorious Catholic man called Guy Fawkes, who plotted to blow up the British Parliament in the year 1605. The same day is celebrated as Guy Fawkes Day. Eliot suggests that all men of today are like the effigy of Guy Fawkes, which is stuffed with what? Dry grass or straw, straw, straw. Effigy is normally again filled or stuffed with what? Dry grass or straw, isn't it? So look at the way he begins the poem. We are the hollow men, we are the stuffed men, leaning together, okay, as wind in the dry grass, or rats feet over broken glass in our dry cellar. So what is he trying to convey? Those lines indicate that we all are hollow men, stuffed from inside, have no energy of our own, Our brain is not filled with what? It's not filled with intelligence. It's not filled with intelligence, but with straw. Sagani tunpundide, ullu tunpundide, odavullu. Muddle idiots. We, the hollow men, are muddle idiots. We are listlessly, helplessly, aimlessly leading our lives. Aimless, listless, helpless. We are helpless, we are aimless, we are listless. We are totally inactive. So, and at the same time, our empty jokes and whisper are dim and meaningless. Life, the sound of the wind as it passes over the dead grass, like the sound of rats' feet walking over pieces of broken glass, is again in our vacant basement. So it means we have the shapes of human beings. But not their nature and qualities. We lack the nature and qualities of a perfect human being. Okay, we are shapes without any color. Our physical body or even face, our face or our physical body is paralyzed, and we can only make what? Gesturing, but no motion, no movement. Or physically we are physically dead. We are physically again filled with worthlessness. Yes, we are physically numb. Stagnant. Our face is what? Our face again has no glitterness. It is completely paralyzed. You should see the face of modern day man. He will be in awe. AWE, awe. He will be shocked. No, if you see people, again, the horror, the boredom, the terrible life that we are leading makes us feel shocked and also baffled. Most of the people living across the world are shocked, are in awe, confusion. They don't know whether to embrace death or to lead such a life without any proper motive, without any proper goal. There is no motion at all. no motion. Even if our face is not glittering. It's not glittering, it's dull. It's paralyzed, dull. Okay, it's the same time, no gestures, nothing. We are motionless. We are motionless. Those who have gone to the other world, means he is speaking about the dead people, our dead ancestors. Those who have gone to the other world after leading what? Action-packed life of purpose, do remember us. So the hollow men means the modern men, you and me. We think that our ancestors who are dead and gone, who had action, they had action was filled with action. They were totally busy. They were totally busy. But what about us? But what about us? So, those who have gone to the other world after leading action packed life, and purpose to remember, and purpose do remember us. They also remember us in the heaven. In the heaven, they feel that we are leading a life, we are leading an aimless life. Okay, so they consider us as inactive and stuffed with what? Stuffed with dummies. Stuffed with dummies. Dummies means dummy dolls, like we are like dummy dolls, or even like scarecrow effigies you see on the fields. ಈ ಜಮೀನುಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ಕಾಗೆಗಳು ಪಕ್ಷಿಗಳು ಬರಬಾರ್ದು ಅಂತ ಪ್ಯಾಂಟು ಶರ್ಟಿ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಹುಲ್ಲು ಎಲ್ಲ ತುಂಬಿಟ್ಟು ಒಂದು ಮಡಕೆ ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅದರ ಮೇಲೆ ಕಣ್ಣು ಮೂಗು ಬಾಯಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬರೆದಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಲೈಕ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್. Again, our body, our mind is stuffed with what? Dry grass, empty. It is empty. It is stuffed with straw, dry grass. We are like dummies. We are living like dummies. Okay, it's a sharp criticism of modern life, modern world. Is very very severe, severest attack on mankind. Okay, the first section, as I told you again, is like a group chat. Is like a group chat where the hollow men lament, their loss of activity, their emptiness. Symbolically, the modern men are spiritually barren, lacking faith on Christian spirit, lacking faith on Christianity. Their life is one of the spiritual decay. They are like ghosts. For abstractions. ಮನೆ ಮುಂದೆ ಹಾಕಿರ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ ದಿಷ್ಟಿ ಗೊಂಬೆಗಳು, ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಜಮೀನಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ. ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಿ ಇನ್ ದ ಪ್ಯಾಡಿ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ಸ್, in the fields, these farming community people, they use this dummy dolls, again, like again, to scare people and birds, isn't it? To scare birds, they use it in the farmlands. Okay, whereas even at the entrance of new built houses, they put these dummy dolls. Okay, to show that we are like ghosts. So that signifies what? Modern man is like, he is spiritually dead. He is like a ghost, and there is, again, his life is completely filled with abstractions. And modern man suffers from what? Suffers from spirited and spirited or physical paralysis. So modern man suffers from any kind of, again, suffers from lack of spirit, or even from physical paralysis. Paralysis means he doesn't even want to move. Doesn't